Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. You see the thumbnail. We are finally here. This is the final mock draft going into the 2025 draft. We are finally here. We are 4 days away from the draft. We are 4 days away from finding out who the next members of the New York Giants are going to be, the next draft class. We are 4 days away of finding out whether or not Shedeur Sanders will be the quarterback for the New York Giants, or is it going to be Abdul Carter, the next edge rusher for the Giants? I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. It's been a long process. Only 4 months, I know. Only 4 months, but it felt like a lifetime, especially with the battles back and forth. All the battles back and forth, whether it was on Twitter, in the comment section here, during the live streams. It does not matter anymore because the time is right now. Right now for the New York Giants. And again, we are tuning in for my final mock draft. I will not be using the mock draft simulator here. Not gonna do this for the final mock draft. I'm gonna put my picks together, and we're gonna do it a little bit different than maybe some other people do. I am gonna talk about different options in the rounds, and yeah, then after that we're gonna get to it. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you are a New York Giants fan. If you are a New York Giants fan and you are not subscribed to this channel, shame on you. Shame on you, but guess what? You can fix that by hitting that like and subscribe button right now. But without further ado, let's get right into this mock draft video. The final mock draft, I believe this is mock draft 7.0. I believe it's 7.0, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So right off of the bat, first round options, I have only 2 people on this list. I do believe that Cam Ward will be going to the Tennessee Titans. I do believe that the Browns will be taking Travis Hunter. Now, the Browns could throw a monkey wrench into things, and they could take Abdul Carter or they could take Shedeur Sanders. But to me, what makes the most sense is that the Browns take Travis Hunter at 2. And with that being said, the only 2 options for me at number 3 for the New York Giants is either Shedeur Sanders or Abdul Carter. I'm not going to talk too much about these 2 guys because they've been talked about a lot, and then right now I feel like it's unnecessary. And again, I'm just talking about the options before we actually get into the mock draft. Moving on to round 2. Now, round 2 is a little bit different, right? There's one person that I think will be like the ultimate wish if they're there at 34, and that person is Kenneth Grant from the Michigan Wolverines. Defensive tackle, if he made it to 34, I'm running to the podium. I can run to the podium for a couple people, but Kenneth Grant, if he falls out of the first for whatever reason, that's crazy to me. But if it happens, because I'm looking at some of these other mock draft simulators, and now before he was always taken in the first round, and now I'm seeing him available at 34 more and more often for the New York Giants. So he is on my wish list of prospects that I would take at 34. Also, it addresses a need. It addresses a need that we need, and definitely a need that Dexter Lawrence wants next to him. A sidekick for sure. Outside of that, I like Tyleik Williams as another option at pick 34. And another option at pick 34, who also might fall out of the first round, is James Pierce. He's an edge rusher out of Tennessee. Now, I put out a tweet earlier today, and I said, to me, Shedeur Sanders and James Pierce is greater than Abdul Carter and Jalen Milroe. That's just how I feel at the time. I believe that Shedeur Sanders is so much better than Milroe as a quarterback, especially right now, that James Pierce kind of closes that gap between Abdul Carter and the other options there. So I do think if James Pierce is there, that will be a fantastic option to pick up at the edge spot. Then also I want to talk about 2 different offensive linemen, because outside of the defensive trenches, the offensive trenches are still another problem as well. And I want to talk about Josh Conerly and Gray Zabel. Those are also 2 options that I think are very, very viable at that pick 34. So moving along to pick 65 in round 3, the New York Giants do need to address the offensive line. Now, everybody is saying, the guard is a spot, but also tackle is a spot as well. Why is tackle a spot? We have Andrew Thomas. We have Jermaine Illuminor. Well, Illuminor has 1 year left, and Andrew Thomas can't stay healthy. We also need to figure out who's going to play the other guard spot. So what would be the best option there? if you're looking for an offensive lineman, maybe you look at a guy that has played tackle but projects maybe as a guard, to try to help you out with some versatility on that offensive line. When you look at the roster right now, and you're looking at the offensive line right now, to me, Andrew Thomas, left tackle, John Runyon, left guard, John Michael Schmitz is the center. I'm assuming Evan Neal is going to get that right guard spot, and then you have Jermaine Illuminor. The reserves behind that, Greg Van Roten, Aaron Stinney, James Hudson, the guy that we just picked up, and Jake Kubas. So those are already 9 offensive linemen. So normally when I'm thinking about this draft, or when I was thinking about this draft, previously, I was like, I'm double dipping that defensive tackle, I'm double dipping that offensive line. And then I got to thinking about it. When you're starting to write this stuff down and you're looking at the roster, I'm like, I can see us only taking one offensive lineman, but that one offensive lineman better be versatile. He should be able to give you some guard and tackle reps. And when I look at guys like Ariante Arcery, he's one of those guys. Who else in round 3? Pick 65 is an option. On the other side of the ball, I have Alfred Collins as a defensive tackle. Another interior lineman is Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. Ozzie Trapillo is another offensive tackle. And then the surprise pick, a guy that right now I no longer believe will be there because he's moving up in the ranks, where people are telling me that he might go as early as the first round, and that's Travion Henderson, running back at Ohio State. Very versatile, but still on my list of a guy that could possibly be there at 65. That's how I felt a couple weeks ago. Now, after this week, especially the last couple of days, that people are talking about him going in the first round. And guess what? I can see it. If Jahmyr Gibbs can go in the first round and the Detroit Lions be right about that hit when everybody was laughing at it a few years back, then of course Travion Henderson can do the same thing. I see a similar type of player. He might not be as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs, but definitely versatile and a big play guy nonetheless. Moving on to round 3, pick 99. This is where I'm starting to look at these other running backs, right? This is the compensatory pick, the extra pick that we picked up in the 3rd round. I'm loving it. And I look at options like running back Devin Neal, Damian Martinez. Also looking at offensive trenches like a Wyatt Millum. He might be available there. But also, if we did not take a quarterback in round 1, I don't think that Dart or Miller will actually make it to the 2nd round. This would probably be the first time I start to look at maybe a Kyle McCord at 99. And a lot of people are not that high. Well, actually, let me take that back. I think a lot of people are high on Kyle McCord. But some people said, he's a day 3 pick, probably in the 5th round. That's how I used to feel about him. But he is moving up on the boards as well. So Kyle McCord makes it on my list of options pretty much at 99. Next is going to be the 4th round pick 105. I got Ty Robinson, a guy that might be ranked a little bit after, the pick at 105, but I love his talent. I love his motor. I like his get off. He gives you versatility, can play all across the defensive line, whether it's the nose tackle, the D tackle. He can pick the zero tech. He can play all this. He gives you that type of versatility. Ty Robinson is a steal for me. But then I have Noah Williams. He's the cornerback out of Cal. Tyler Batty is a edge rusher, hand in the dirt type. Might be a traditional 4-3 defensive end, but I do think he has the ability to stand up and be an edge guy. Can help you in a running game or run defense. And then another pick would be Savion Williams at wide receiver at pick 105. Savion Williams is a playmaker, period. He can play running back. He can play wide receiver. He's a kick returner, punt returner. He answers a lot of questions. So for me, yes, we just re-signed Morset. Rightfully so. I think he did a fantastic job returning the ball last year. But you get a guy like Savion Williams, again, who can help you in the backfield. He can also help you in the passing game. And he can help you in special teams. That's a valuable player to have. So he definitely makes my list at around 105. You might see him go before that. Round 5. This is when I really start to dig into the trenches a bit, right? Round 5, pick 154. I'm looking at guys like Logan Brown, tackle from Kansas. I'm looking at Luke Kandra, the guard from Cincinnati. If you guys have been watching my show, you already know that I'm big on Luke Kandra. And then also the New Jersey product, Rutgers' own Kyle Monangai in the 5th round. Shout out to all the people that put me up on Kyle Monangai, not just his running ability, because he's not the biggest guy, but he is very, very physical, but also pass protection. He's the guy that's willing to do the dirty work as a running back, and I don't believe we have that in our backfield right now. So Kyle Monangai is definitely a guy that I would go after. Next, in round 7, 2 picks in round 7. We got 219 and 246. This is when I start to look at, okay, value here. Now, everybody keeps talking about the tight end position. I'm seeing rumors of trading for Dallas Goedert. I don't want to do anything like that. We have Bellinger. We have Theo Johnson. We have Greg Dulcich. But there's another tight end in the 7th round if he's there. A guy named Oronde Gadsden from Syracuse. A receiving tight end, gives you that extra versatility. Now, I think this is a luxury pick. I actually think we're good at tight end. But in round 7, if Oronde Gadsden is still there, definitely a guy that I will look at. And then also a big-bodied running back in LaQuindon Jackson, 6 foot, 233 pounds, or above 6 foot, I should say, 233 pounds, physical runner, exactly what the New York Giants need, or I feel like the New York Giants need, in this backfield rotation. And then finally, with the last pick, I always look at the top 30 visits, right? I always look at the top 30 visits. And when I'm looking at the top 30 visits, there's always names that stand out. And there's always a player that, they just sound like a New York Giant, whether it be the versatility that they bring. Maybe they're highly productive, or maybe they don't have the, the right, they don't have the right size or weight. Colin Oliver is a guy that falls into that category. 6 foot, 230 pounds, played the edge, also played a little bit of off ball, but is a playmaker. Dealt with some injuries as well. But when we're talking about the 7th round and the New York Giants brought him in as a top 30 visit, Colin Oliver, in my opinion, probably when I look at that top 30 list, he's like, you know what? Somehow, some way, something's telling me inside that Colin Oliver is going to be a guy that the New York Giants are going to pick up. He fits a lot of roles. He wears a lot of hats. He can play off-ball linebacker, definitely give you some special teams work, and then also can give you some edge work as well if he makes it on the field. So Colin Oliver is that guy, and then the guy that I put on almost every mock draft when I get a chance to. And when I look at this roster, I look at the 2022 class, and these guys, who's going to get a contract? These are all contract years for a lot of these guys. We're not going to be able to bring all of these guys back. And when I think about that, I think about guys like Cordell Flott. I think about what we have in the secondary, and I keep seeing the name Jabbar Muhammad. Can play the slot, can play the outside. Love his versatility, love his physicality. He's a gamer. He's a gamer, and you want that from a cornerback. A little bit of a trash talker, won't shy away from hitting in the run game as well. But Jabbar Muhammad is usually one of those guys that I put at the end of the mock draft. So without further ado, we can finally get into this mock draft, and the mock draft is going to be quick. I'm going backwards to make sure you guys tune into the end of the video. Starting with round 7, pick 246, the New York Giants select Colin Oliver, linebacker. Shout out to Colin Oliver. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. It makes a lot of sense. In round 7, the New York Giants select tight end out of Syracuse, Oronde Gadsden. Shout out to Oronde Gadsden, right? In round 5, pick 154, the New York Giants select Kyle Monangai. I got Kyle Monangai, the running back that the New York Giants can add to that rotation, into that room. Shout out to Kyle Monangai. In round 4, pick 105, the New York Giants select Ty Robinson, defensive tackle out of Wisconsin. I really, really do love Ty Robinson. The versatility that he brings. When I'm looking at guys that are also might not be here, Jordan Riley, DJ Davidson, these guys, who knows if they're going to be here. We picked up some guys on one-year contracts as well as at the defensive tackle spot. Ty Robinson has so much value from the 0 technique all the way to the 3 technique. I love Ty Robinson in the 4th round. Some people will say it's kind of high. Not too high for me. Pick 99. Pick 99, I have Wyatt Millam. Wyatt Millam gives you that versatility. Both guard and tackle. I said there's pretty much only one room for one person for the offensive line. If we draft him, Wyatt Millam will fill in perfectly. Gives you that guard, gives you that tackle versatility. Round 3, pick 65. I had the New York Giants selecting Alfred Collins, defensive tackle. I double-dipped at defensive tackle. I have Alfred Collins going to the New York Giants. A guy that I believe can play, that you can put right next to Dexter Lawrence day one. Day one. Two guys about 6'5" apiece, 330. Dexter's 345, 350 pounds. You're not going to be running the ball on the Giants for too much longer after that. And pick 34. Now we're getting down to the goods. At pick 34, the New York Giants select edge rusher James Pierce, Tennessee. Speed rusher, you want guys off the edge. You wanted Abdul Carter. You got James Pierce. James Pierce, 4.47 speed, 6'5", 250 pounds. A lot of people say, hey, well, he's just a carbon copy of Brian Burns. Well, guess what? So is Abdul Carter, speed rusher. Maybe he gives you a little bit more off the, as an off-ball linebacker. But for me, the value at number one is just too high for the most important position in football. And without further ado, let's get into round one. It was never a question. You guys have watched me for a long time, watched me long enough. Do I think this is going to happen? Absolutely not, but I want this to happen, and this is my mock draft. I have the New York Giants selecting quarterback Shedeur Sanders at pick 3, the new future of the franchise. And the crowd goes crazy, or the crowd wants to get rid of me. I don't care. I'm getting the quarterback of the future, and it is what it is. But that's going to be my mock draft. I can't wait to see the comment section. I can't wait to see the comment section to see what you guys are thinking about this draft, about this final mock draft of the 2025, season. And yeah, let me know. Let me know if you're mad at me. Let me know if you love me. I'll take it either way. I'll take it either way. Pause. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.
We got to